Well, greetings to everyone. Good afternoon to you all. Not sure what day this will be viewed, but this is Sunday, and it's I think it's the 29th of August. So just to give you an indication of where we are actually going to be doing the cliffs just to the north of Bell Point where we were before. Cannot get Wi-Fi signal on them, so as I promised, I would definitely take you below there with a higher resolution if we couldn't get the signal. So I know we can't get the signal because I've tried it before, but we've come back here another day so we can do this high resolution. I was waiting on the perfect day with little wind, with some swell, and also with just awesome scenery. No haze whatsoever, just beautiful, just absolutely magnificent day. Sorry, I am getting a little excited because this is a rare treat to find all the conditions right. You know, no wind whatsoever. You know, it's just perfect today, absolutely beautiful. Well, this is where we're going to be going. The lower elevation here. This is the cliff that we said we would be taking you on the next time that we came up here, and this is what we're going to do. Just beautiful, beautiful area. I could have done it from right down the beach itself, but I decided I wanted to come up here and show you what it was like to actually venture down, so you would know if you want to get involved in this or if you didn't want to get involved in this. But it's a good walk for sure. You have to be very careful. There are a couple of slippery-ish areas that you have to be wary of. This is not the only path that goes down. I just chose this one here because it's sort of like the more scenic area. But there is one that just runs over to our right here now that comes back basically into the same area, but it's not as scenic as this. This is just beautiful. Look at this. Water is gorgeous. What a perfect day. Slight little swell coming off these systems out there in the Atlantic. Nothing major, but I would imagine Soup Bowl and Parla and those places must be unreal right now. Perfect conditions for sure. Wind is a little side shore, but don't mind. It's just light and beautiful. So this is the actual only official path that I've found coming down onto this plateau. And I've actually seen quite a few people on it. First time I was up here, there was a very elderly lady making her way back up. And then I saw a few people that were out here earlier on as I was coming in this direction, coming back from this place. Again, be wary out here because there's some loose coral stone as we're going down. So it's not something that you will come over here and run down for sure. I wouldn't recommend slippers on this at all. I would say at least for sure 2x2s. But as we're going to be down on the coral in a little while, that's a lot sharper. I would even recommend some good 4x4s for this one. That would be my opinion on it. I came down here the other day in 4x4s and it was pretty comfortable. See, this is the other track that comes down. It's not quite as steep as what we came down, but it goes through all the great bush and stuff, which doesn't give you the scenery that I want to show you as we were descending the cliff. Going back a little further on now. Again, I would also not venture down here when there's been rain. One is to get here you have to come across cart tracks. That's the first thing, and it's very muddy. So if out here is raining, you would have some issues, starting with that as being your first issue. And then the second issue would be coming down this cliff area here. There's a little bit of mud, many stone, but a little bit of mud and some grass as well. So you would have to be extremely careful coming down here if it was wet. Especially if it's wet, you got to be careful coming here, period, because as you can see, it's a good descent. We're going down some good steady area. There's a lot of loose rock as well, as you will see. And these are the things you have to be careful of. Just make your small steps. Don't put a big step. Don't transfer your weight initially. Just take your time. That sounds so basic, but you just need to be reminded sometimes about that. That's Bell Point in the distance you're seeing there. That's where we covered with a live video before. And as you can see, it is very slippery out here and very rough, so just be very wary. There are different routes that go down from here as well, but I like this one that goes down here. Just a couple of steps in it, so again, you have to be wary because this is all loose rock here. So just be very careful coming down here. I'm going to let you see what we're going down so you can experience it as well. The sensation down here though that you get when you make it down here in this plateau is unreal. As I said, this is not the first time I've done it. I did a video up here the other day, but I wasn't really too happy with how it came out. Mainly because I didn't come down and walk down. I did do the up, but the up I was pretty breathless on, so I want to come back down. And also the conditions today are superior. Visibility is incredible. Calmness is beautiful. The wind is very light. Just perfect for what we need here now. Just look at what this place has to offer. Now this is not the only shelf. There's a shelf around that corner. very, very difficult to access, so that's more of a climbing way. I wouldn't recommend that one. It's a short one as well, but it's also beautiful, but I wouldn't recommend trying to go down to that. I didn't go down to it. I looked at the options and just seemed a little bit too extreme to go down to come straight back up really. But as you can see, this is all very rough. It's all coral. As you've seen in the St. Philip area, the coral up here is like razor blades. I mean, just look at this. I guess in the higher resolution you have a much better idea how sharp this really is. Extremely sharp. So you don't want to be walking across here in any softwares, and I would definitely recommend something with some heel protection as well, because if you do slip on the edge here and your foot goes down in one of these like little coral holes, it could be very painful if you have on some soft sided shoes. So I would say hikers would be something I recommend for sure. Now there's a beautiful blowhole just out here. We'll show you in a few minutes time, but we're going to work our way along this cliff and enjoy the beauty as we're going. Isn't this gorgeous? So you can get a sense of what we're experiencing. I'm going to give you a 360 from this point here and let you understand what out here sounds like and feels like. Here we go. Just gorgeous, simply gorgeous. See what I was telling you about, there's a long trek between here and the other plateau. The other plateau you'll see in the far distance down there, and that's very, very difficult to get to. We can't get to it from here for sure. We'd have to do it from the top, and going down is very steep, and I really don't see any defined cut in it where somebody's been up and down it. Now that house at the end there, the palm tree, is what you will see from when you're down at Bath Beach or anywhere down on the northern side of Concept Bay, and you look back up along the coastline of Barbados. The furthest point out you'll see with the home is that one there with that tree, because you wouldn't really see the Ragged Point at a lower elevation. You will see that when you're higher elevations like Tree Hill and stuff. When you're down the coastline and thing, this would be the furthest point you will see where you see that coconut tree. Now I'll just give you an indication of where we are. This is so gorgeous. Just look how this water is boiling up here and pulling back. Let me give you a little sample of that there. Check this out. Just watch how beautiful this is. Just gorgeous coastline, stunning coastline. All right, we are on very, very sharp coral because we're obviously far out on the cliff itself. You could walk closer in where it's a little bit more worn and stuff, but then we wouldn't get what we are seeing right now. We wouldn't see all this beautiful moss here growing on this wall and stuff here, but the coral, it's just beautiful. And being down here is so magical. I mean, because this is an area that I never ever imagined even coming down inside, far less you know, thinking of coming doing a video. Just beautiful. I'll give you a little pan of this bay itself. I'll let you see how stunning the conditions are today. One word, stunning, absolutely stunning. All right, let's walk a little bit further. I can show you this big blowhole up here as well, or it's quite large blowhole. But it's just lovely down in here, you know. It's I tried to get a signal. I was able to talk to my angel down in here briefly once, but it was so pixely and the resolution was terrible, and signal wasn't consistent, so I decided I wouldn't even risk it down in here. Don't want to be bringing a video like that, to be honest with you. I'd rather bring, or a vlog like that, live vlog, I'd rather bring something like this for you to really truly enjoy the beauty of it out here. You know, this southeastern coast is just amazing. The coves and the cliffs, just stunning. Right, now I think up here would have to have a very large swell for this one really to come into operation. But this is it here. And I'm sure if it was big, with some good surge on it, that would go into operation for sure. But this is the blowhole I was mentioning about. And as you can see, the water is coming in under that cliff there and coming underneath there. So between us here where we are and out to the ocean is sort of like a bridge, because you can see us flying quite freely under there. So it's definitely an underwater cave kind of thing coming up into this crackling cliff. So if out here was really big, you can see what's happening here already. We're getting some little blows and mist and stuff, so it would be spectacular. And hopefully one day I'll catch it huge like that with a big swell off of here for you all to see. But you can see what's happening here, and you can see how this is also beginning to spit as well. Let me step back a little bit before I become a part of the sea spray at. You know, I want to get you all as close as possible to the action, but I don't want to be taking any risks doing it. So all along here, which looks like a solid formation, as you can see, there are holes that come underneath as well, that come into this inside blowhole. So I would just imagine that when the sea is pounding, what must be happening here in this cliff? It must be spectacular to view. And there are little ones, as you can see, all along here as well too. Like these are other ones as well. All along this section here, there are blowholes. But it's just lovely out here today. Perfect conditions to take in this for sure. This is where the shelf sort of stops. There are a couple of tracks that go a little further around, but it's not too much really to see on that section here. Tell you what, we could just as well take it anyhow and see what it looks like out there for you. Let's get as far out as we can go anyhow. That coral there is extremely sharp, as you can see. It's like a lot of razor blades. Yeah, so you can see all this cliff here is wet as well, with the sea spray and stuff. Just beautiful though, goodness. So we're doing a little bit of climbing today. It's not a hike, but definitely a climbing. So again, if you're going to be coming out here, make sure that you're relatively in good condition. That's in stability and strength and endurance, because it is quite a climb, as you can see, and it is also a steep angle, so there is possible slipping involved. You know, if these rocks start to slide or roll, but that will cause a little bit of a grief. So just be careful what you're doing. Always exercise caution, no matter how you know somewhere or you've been to there a million times. Just exercise the caution the first time and you'll be fine. If you do go down, you'll be prepared for it, that's for sure. I wasn't too sure how high that would spray up, so I didn't want to get too close to it, so now we can come back down here on the other side of it. But check the channels that go up through these cliffs. All these things that form the blowholes in the cliff itself with the weaker matter. It's quite interesting. Look at this one. See, these are all blowhole areas. You can see the blowholes are actually going to the cliff there and will come out further in the cliff itself. Lots of PVC tubing out here, so you would know this is a regular fishing spot. But beautiful, beautiful cliffs. So as we said in the beginning, not in the beginning, but when we started to really do a lot of coastline, where we started to involve tours and strolls and hikes, we said we would cover every piece of the coastline that's accessible. Well, this is another piece of the coastline that's accessible, but not a piece that a lot of people can get to. Oh, do you hear the tube in and you hear the blowhole? Isn't that lovely? Just lovely. Listen. So you can understand that when the swell really picks up, right where we're here, which is about 3 feet in front of us, will be definitely a spout that's coming up through it. You can hear it breathing. You can actually hear it breathing. I'm going to let you listen to it as the wave comes in so you can hear it breathing out and sucking in. Here we go. Goodness gracious me, how lovely. Nature, man, these sounds of nature. Alright, big swell's coming in now. I may add a run back. Let's see what's going on here with this. Let's see how it does it. Yep. Definitely got to be a big surf at Super Bowl today. A good surf for sure. Not huge, but excellent. So that's the cliffs there that we couldn't get to. And there are some of the spouts that we're seeing. And there's definitely a big set coming in. So I will watch this here and move backwards. But listen to nature breathing. It's wonderful. What a blessing. So I'm so happy to be able to share this with you all, guys. So this is how we're going to do it. When we can't do the live, we can't get the video signal or the Wi-Fi signal or data connection or whatever, we're going to do this here. Give you full high resolution of that area. Now we also do high resolutions of areas that we can also get the live on, but they'll be done at a later date. Right now what I'm concentrating on is doing the areas that we cannot get data or we cannot connect on the internet from, or very weak signal areas, because these are beautiful places and these are creations that everyone should get to see, not just the 1 or 2 that live in this area, but the entire world. And this is what you can come to Barbados and do. You all can hike and scout around and do things like this here. You don't have to be in crowded areas. You don't have to lay on the beach. Now I know that when you come on vacation, you just want to lay on the beach and go horizontal, let the sand gravity grab you and be close to the bar. But if you feel in the mood to do something different, and you've been here a million times and done exactly that, and maybe this time say, well, I'd like to try 1 or 2 other things, please have a look on our YouTube channel. Take a look at what is offered out there and come and enjoy some of this beauty. Just a stunning, stunning day out here in Barbados. Look at the visibility. There is no haze whatsoever. Perfect, perfect conditions today. Ultimate. Right, we'll walk away back on the cliff, and as we won't be down here again in a hurry for sure, not in the near future, unless there's a huge swell and we want to come and see how that looks. But out here won't be the safest if there's a huge swell, I'm sure. But just so you can see it from the other angle, because you've seen before in our beach walks, when you go one way, it looks completely different from when you go the other. So we're going to take a closer walk this time because I can stay on this track as close as the cliff here. Don't worry people, I'm leaning at 45 degrees inland, so I would look really strange to someone in the cliff looking at me. I would be leaning. We're going to just take our time and go through here because I can see this is the regular route for the fishermen. I guess it all depends on sea conditions. There is some water up here, so hopefully the sea doesn't decide to come and catch for us while we're here. Just don't see. I'm going to get out of this wet area though, just to be on the safe side. Spectacular scenery. Now I know the EMC followers, I know that if you all get a chance to see this, you all are going to be so happy to do so, because these are the kind of things that you all want to see. You all want to see the sides of Barbados that you don't normally see. You all want to get involved in stuff that you don't normally get involved with, the hiking and thing. So hopefully when you come this time, you will bring your equipment and you will come and join us and enjoy some hiking and stuff with our hikologists and myself. Just have a look at some of these swells coming up in here though. Just beautiful. So you'll see why I say 4x4s, I would definitely recommend. It's extremely sharp. So you don't really want to come down here or go anywhere in the island that could involve walking on rough sections and have you wrong or tear. It's always best to be safe, you know, always err on your side of caution. So if you have something to protect around your sides, your foot and your heel and your toes, yeah, that's something I would recommend. The boots I wear are amazing. I would buy them again for sure. However, my angel sent me in a beautiful pair, and I christened them a couple of weeks ago here actually, and then I got a little mud on them and I almost cried, so I put them back in the cupboard, clean them and put them back in the cupboard for another day, and they will come up when they're absolutely needed. So you've had a chance to listen to a blowhole breathe. I mean really breathe, not from a little faint anything or being told about it, something you've actually experienced yourself. Alright, we're going to be going back up into this hill here now, just to show you where we're going up. That is the track we'll be taking going up. And as I said, it's a lot of loose coral, so just be wary of it because it's just loose rocks all over the place, and you know, if one of them rolls on you, it's a little difficult to regain your balance, you know, so you have to be very careful. The thing is, you don't even expect it to go sometimes. It just looks stable and then it will just roll from under you. Done some scouting this morning, not to tell you where, because that'll be a surprise. It's going to be definitely a live video. Saw areas for 2 of them actually, so we have 2 of them for next week we're going to cover. The weather is good because both of them are accessible by some mud roads as well, but we have tons of things we can do. You know, I can go anywhere in the north on a rainy day. That's not a problem because there's really no mud out there. Like Little Bay, along those cliffs, yeah, there is mud, but it's workable mud unless it's torrential rains.